Hello everyone, my name is BassWiz and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to, because it has been a while, I wanted to give my overall thoughts so far on the Wano Country arc as it has been going. I think the last chapter I talked about on my channel was chapter 957 from what I'm seeing here. And that was the chapter where we learned the bounties of the biggest players in the world, being the Yonko, Gold Roger, and Edward Newgate. And I haven't talked about One Piece since then, and a lot has happened since then. Uh, this will be sort of an abridged, like, overall thoughts. I'm not going to go over specific points too much. I just wanted to talk about how Onigashima specifically has been going, where I think the story will be heading after Onigashima. And yeah, basically just my overall thoughts. This is not going to be a very structured video. I just wanted to ramble for a bit because I have not had anyone to talk to about this because none of my friends want to commit to reading over 1,000 chapters of manga. I can't really blame them for that, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the raid on Onigashima, there's a lot I can say about this arc. It's it has had some slow moments, and I hear people saying that the tension isn't really there, but I think that can be mostly attributed to the fact that we are reading week to week, and I feel like Oda tends to write for the binging experience where you buy a volume and you can read a chunk of chapters all at once. When read in that context, I feel like One Piece's pace isn't really an issue, but when we're sitting here week to week, it can feel a bit drawn out, but that's because we are stuck in this heightened feeling of suspense for weeks on end, and there are breaks in between chapters sometimes, so it can feel less impactful when we get to a climactic moment like a fight scene or something. It could feel like, yeah, okay, that was okay, but I think that has less to do with the actual quality of the work and more to do with how we are consuming this media. I'm sure a lot of One Piece fans have this experience. You pick up the series, you're binging it all in one go. It feels incredible because it's going so fast because you have a lot to catch up on. But once you're actually caught up, it everything slows down and you have to dissect every chapter as it comes. You're experiencing this story now 20 pages at a time every week, so of course it's going to feel a lot more slow. When it comes to the actual content of Onigashima, though, in my opinion, this is some of the best One Piece content that's ever been written. I feel this whole arc, this whole saga started way back in Punk Hazard. This has been the culmination of over 10 years of work from Oda. Keeping the pieces moving in a coherent manner is not an easy feat. This started way back when we met the lower half of Kinemon way back on the back of that dragon in Punk Hazard, which has been about 10 years since it happened. And I never would have expected, seeing that scene, that it would lead to such an overarching story like the Wano saga has been. We've been through Punk Hazard, we've been through Dressrosa, Zoe, Whole Cake Island, and now we're finally here, and we're finally at the climax of all of this with Luffy cementing his position as one of the most dangerous pirates in the world if he hadn't already done that. Luffy has always had personal issues with the world government because he is someone that really values personal freedom. That's his whole goal with becoming the Pirate King. He wants to be the one with the most freedom. He wants to be the most free that he can be. So, in the past, the world government really wasn't sweating Luffy too much because at the end of the day, he was a weak pirate, but slowly throughout the series, he has toppled government outposts. He has broken in and out of Impel Down. He has taken down multiple Shichibukai. He snuck into Big Mom's domain and got out relatively unscathed. And now, in front of an audience of CP0, it seems like he is about to defeat Kaido in a one-on-one fight. Granted, the fight was not always one-on-one, and he has been defeated multiple times, Luffy. He's still holding his own right now, having evolved mid-fight against Kaido, and is giving Kaido such a challenge that Kaido has resorted to drinking mid-fight in a semi-drunken fist-like state. Luffy has become a force to be reckoned with, not only for his ideology, but now for his physical strength. I don't think there are many people in the One Piece world left that can pose a physical threat to Luffy anymore, bar the admirals, bar Blackbeard, bar Shanks, possibly Im-sama if he is a fighter at all, and possibly Blackbeard. More than likely Blackbeard, actually. So there's only a handful of people left that could pose a physical challenge to Luffy, and after this arc, the world government is going to have to be confronted with that reality that they've let this Straw Hat Kid have his own way for too long, and now it's way too late. Now it's too late to stop Luffy, in my opinion. They're going to try. Lord knows Akainu is going to try to put down that brat that he failed to kill in Marineford. And I think Akainu's time in the story to come back is relatively near. I feel like either he is going to mobilize more troops against Luffy, or he's going to get prepared to meet Luffy at either Elbaf or possibly on the way to Raftel. I don't think they know where Raftel is, but on the way there, possibly there might be like an overseas confrontation. I don't really know, but I do know that the Straw Hats after Wano are one of the most prolific pirate crews in the world, forcefully removing Kaido from his throne as one of the four emperors. I think they will take his place now. They will take the place of Kaido as that emperor spot. And I haven't even started to mention yet, at the time of the recording of this video, the latest chapter out at the moment is chapter 1039, the chapter where Law and Kid both seemingly, I'm not entirely sure yet if it's completely done, but they have seemingly defeated Big Mom using their awakened fruits. Law with this absolutely stunning to watch but ridiculous attack where he uses his awakened devil fruit to extend his blade down from the top of Onigashima all the way through the island and down into Wano below, leaving a crater. And Kid using his devil fruit to essentially create a railgun and assault Big Mom with it. These two are very, very impressive in their own right. I don't think they compare to Luffy yet, but compared to other pirates in the world, they are also going to be seen as forces to be reckoned with. I believe at this point they will be considered emperors as well. So I think the new lineup for emperors after Wano will more than likely be Blackbeard, Shanks, Luffy, Kid, and Law. So 5 emperors, or not Yonko at that point because Yon means 4, so I guess Goko for 5. More than likely. Because judging from the beating that Big Mom took, I think she might be defeated, but if she's not, she's definitely at death's door. We have seen her struggling against these two. We've seen her with broken bones. We've seen her use souls to decrease her lifespan, but to increase her strength against these two pirates. They are not a joke anymore. Their crews have a lot to be desired. I believe Kid has a slightly better crew than Law, all things considered, because Kid has Killer with him, and Killer is very impressive. We saw his fight earlier in this arc. Uh, Law has Beppo, but Beppo, he's cute, but he hasn't really done much. Law also has Jean Bart, that I think half giant, or maybe possibly just giant, that he saved at the archipelago. Those guys are okay. Sachi and Penguin too. They're okay, but they haven't really done much this arc. They've essentially been glorified cheerleaders this arc, and that's sad to see. But I hope they'll be fleshed out a bit more. I know we have not had as much time to spend with Law's crew. The same can be said for Kid's crew as well, though, and they have had a much more impressive showing. I had hoped, one of my hopes for Onigashima was to possibly see Beppo have a fight of his own, maybe even go Sulong, because he is a mink, he has that ability, and the moon has been out. We've seen plenty of Sulongs throughout this whole arc, but Beppo has yet to really do much. I guess there still is time, but at this point in the arc, chapter 1039, we seem to be hitting that point where all the major fights are basically done, and we're just waiting for Luffy to take down the big bad, aka Kaido. I'm really excited to see where this arc ends and how the other pieces that are floating in the air in the story right now are going to play a role. We saw at the start of chapter 1039 that Momo seems to be hearing Zunisha's voice. It's not confirmed to be Zunisha in that moment, but with the previous chapter's cliffhanger being Zunisha's appearance and Momo being established to be able to speak with Zunisha and hear it, it's pretty safe to assume that it is Zunisha that he's talking to. I wonder if Zunisha might have a role in preventing the fall of Onigashima once Luffy defeats Kaido, because at the moment, Momo seems to be having trouble stopping Kaido's flame clouds from moving Onigashima above mainland Wano. So Zunisha might have a role in this. I'm not entirely sure what Zunisha can do, but it is an elephant the size of a country, so I'm sure Zunisha can be some sort of help there. I also want to find out what Yamato will end up doing against Kazenbo, the ghostly flame spirit left over by Kanjuro. We saw Yamato freeze the explosives in the storeroom. I wonder if that'll be the end of it. It feels like too much of a Chekhov's gun, the explosives in Wano, for it to just end like that. I feel like they are going to explode at some point, whether that be when Onigashima crashes to the floor or not will yet to be determined. But that is a thing that is up in the air so far. And the last thing I want to touch on here is CP0. They are actively hunting down Nico Robin right now. Orders from higher ups delivered by Lucci to the masked members of CP0. So far, CP0 has been a major threat. They've taken down X-Drake, and they have been stopped in a confrontation against Izo, former division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. Izo is already injured, and I fear, since we're due for one, this might be the character death that happens on Onigashima, because I do feel it a bit odd that no named characters have been killed so far, even though there has been many fake outs. This is one thing I will always call out Oda for. The fake out deaths are getting kind of ridiculous. Like we saw Kinemon essentially get cut in half, but apparently he was never put together correctly in the first place by Law, because of his devil fruit still being in effect from way back in Punk Hazard 10 years ago. That was kind of an ass pull to me, but it does make sense canonically, so I'll have to accept it. It did leave a bad taste in my mouth when I saw that. So there's lots of moving parts. I wonder if we will get a confrontation of Nico Robin and Brook against CP0. We did see a lot of the Straw Hats moving towards Zoro, and then we did see that Grim Reaper figure above Zoro, which I think is just Brook. I I don't know why he's dressed like that, or if he's even dressed like that at all, and it's not Zoro just hallucinating because he took that drug. But we do see a bunch of Straw Hats congregating towards there. We did see Frankie heading towards Zoro. We saw Chopper worrying about Zoro. And if that is Brook, that means Robin is nearby. So we have a group of Straw Hats. I wonder if there will be a confrontation between these Straw Hats and CP0 to protect Robin from being kidnapped. Because I don't think we're going to have another Robin retrieval arc. I don't think there's enough time in the story left for the Straw Hats to be trying to save Robin in another grand arc like Enies Lobby again. If Robin by chance does get taken, I think it will lead into the next arc like Elbaf, where we're planning to go to next. So far, I've really been loving the twists and turns of Wano and how Oda has been able to weave this story. It's been a real... It's felt like fan service with the amount of great moments we've gotten with the Straw Hats, how powerful we've seen our crew become. Great moments like Zoro discovering he has Conqueror's Haki, Zoro injuring Kaido and then tanking an attack from the two Yonko. The fact that there's two Yonko that were fighting at the same time. We're getting incredible feats all over. We're getting incredible character moments, and I've been so excited reading this week to week. I do apologize that I wasn't reviewing these as they came out. I especially... when chapter 1000 dropped and we got to see Luffy hit the red rock against Kaido, I was ecstatic and I almost came back at that moment, and something stopped me. But now I'm glad that I'm back now, and I'll be able to talk about these chapters as they come out, starting from chapter 1040. But yeah, I think I've rambled on enough now. Like I said, this didn't really have much organization to it. I just wanted to speak about my thoughts because I haven't had a chance to. Let me know what you guys think about this video. As you guys can see with the video, the visuals, I'm still working on those. I only have this one JPEG of my old character left, and I don't have the assets for the same things that I was able to do before. I'm still working on the visual assets, and I do apologize for how scuffed it might look at the moment. Let me know what you guys think I should do. I have been considering making a VTuber model. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing. But yeah, I think that'll be it for me today. Thank you for watching. Peace.